welcome back, guys. Not exactly a press conference, just a new co-host for 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
You know how this goes.
Let's see how it goes.
I say it's 5 minutes, and then an hour later I leave because I'm, hoarse and lost an ability to talk.
All right. So first of all, what was the game? I mean.
Well, I should have been worse out of the opening, I think, because as people pointed out to me after the game, there's this whole body of theory here, starting with knight c3, 6, bishop g5. Black has to play bishop e7, we take, ed5, knight d4.
So this is how you play
rook e4, knight f5, and my guess is my opponent was quite happy with this position and knew how to make a draw here. I didn't know anything at all, so... I thought, e5, e6 is very thematic in these positions in general, but probably not in this one, because after e5, knight h5, it's very important that black has this option of knight h5, and then often it will go back to g7. And g6, I think, is completely correct, and after knight c3, I got a very large present here, because I think bishop g7 is more or less a forced draw.
Oh, really?
I think I have to take, play bishop h3.
Bishop takes d4, right?
No, I thought knight takes. I thought
knight
takes, bishop e3, and just knight f5, knight takes d5 and e6. And I will not be able to avoid the trade of queens, and I shouldn't be worse despite my spoiled pawn structure, because I still have the bishops, and regardless of which one I give up, I think I will be fine regardless. But I'm also not better here by any stretch. Or if he wants to play for advantage here, he could play knight g7, which I thought was very interesting. And my plan was to play bishop h3 and take with the rook. But this probably doesn't work, because after takes, bishop g7. Unfortunately for me, I have to spend the tempo on bishop e3. Queen d6, knight d5. I calculated up to here, and I thought this might be very interesting. But now, when we were analyzing outside, I realized that there is the move king d8 here, which we could... Although now I look at this position, maybe I can continue. Maybe I can play queen b3. Because if he takes on e6, I think queen b6 check might be a significant problem for black. So maybe I shouldn't have... Maybe I shouldn't have
in this
given up
position,
so
I feel
early.
like I have to avoid the fork on c7, so I go king c8. So I keep my queen on the board.
Yeah, that's
No, but yeah, white is winning.
Yeah, so maybe my idea wasn't so stupid then, because my opponent declined to play knight g7 because he thought after bishop a6, bishop e6, f6, knight a4, I might be better. But here, first of all, I'm not sure if I'm even better after something like knight g7, bishop g7, knight c5, and maybe even, let's say, I'm not entirely convinced, how large my advantage is in a position like this, if there is any advantage. But also, I was very worried during the game about just black playing b6 and rook c8 and saying, yeah, my position looks a bit slow at the moment, but if I'm able to play king f7 and then bishop g7 and then rook comes out, eventually white's position, you will have to admit your position is in ruins.
Kind of looks like you made a lot of strange-looking moves in this position.
Yeah. And I was very, very worried about things like that, because I thought it's very easy for me to just be significantly worse here. And that was why I was so interested in not allowing this kind of a setup at all by taking with the rook. But my opponent played f5, and f5, I'm not entirely sure what exactly he missed here, but he must have missed something, because after queen b3, immediately it becomes very troublesome.
It is problematic.
Yeah. Well, I didn't check with the machine, but it looks very dangerous. And I mean, one position where I thought maybe he gets a playable position was just to go bishop g7 here. I think I have to play rook d1. He castles, and now I have a choice. I can take with the knight, and it's some kind of a mess. Although maybe it's a good mess for me. I'm not. Maybe this is actually what I should do. Or I can take with the queen. And then after queen b6, rook d8 is a threat, so I thought important is to play knight a4 and knight c5 with the intention of putting it on d7 if the rook comes to d8. And if he takes, I take, and I thought, let's say I play rook d7. And then I start playing sort of very sharply to put as much pressure against the pawn on e7 as possible. I don't really care about the pawns on a2 and b2.
Yeah, but it doesn't look hopeless for
yeah, no, but this is playable. But he decided to check my calculating skills by playing rook b8, queen a6, knight f3, king h1, and queen c7. And here, I don't know. Maybe my solution is just fine. I still need to check. I played queen a4. My one regret here is I very much wanted to play rook e5 here. Just because how beautiful it looks.
Yeah, because you can.
I create a threat of rook d5, so he has to take with the knight. I go knight takes d5, and the point is, if he goes queen c6, I can give a check from a5, and then just play bishop g2. And I think this might be winning for me. But somehow it felt to me like this is a kind of position that if I blunder something, you know, it's a full rook. Whereas the choice I made in the game, which was to play bishop f4 and then knight b5, here I was reasonably sure I'm not risking anything. First and foremost, very importantly, after rook takes b5, I have many interesting options here, but then I realized I can just play queen takes b5, because I can actually play rook e c1, rook a c1, all of these moves actually make some sense. But then I realized I can just take. And the biggest point is, he cannot play, let's say, knight takes e6 with the threat of queen h2 mate, or knight d3, all for the same reason, because queen takes d5, check, followed by take the important horse, not the one being given up, but the one on f3, and then I just win. And if he takes on e1, he abandons all of his threats, and I just win by playing rook c1. This is just completely over. Once I pick up this queen, I will at least win a knight with checks somewhere, but probably I can give mate somewhere. And the choice here is therefore between I think queen b7 and queen b6. And queen b6, it took me a while to realize that this move exists, but queen b6 just loses on the spot to knight d4. That's what happened in the game. Queen b7 is more interesting, but I think after queen b7 I win by playing... I'm trying to... Yeah, I was looking at this. Rook ac1 here. Creating a threat of rook c7, and if he takes on e1 here, I was planning to go knight d4.
Same knight d4 with knight.
Yeah, very importantly, I'm stopping d5, d4, discover check, which would have been kind of a problem for me. Yeah, but knight d4 stops that and creates a threat of, well, queen a5, bishop b5, or knight c6. And after rook c8, I think the simplest way is just to play queen a5, rook c7, and trade some rooks, because after queen takes c7, we have this rather efficient solution here.
So this is how you mate into, because I would think it's bishop a6
bishop a6 and queen d8. Yeah, bishop a6 and queen d8 is nicer, actually. Yeah,
I don't know why it's nicer.
Yeah,
but
I prefer your solution. Yeah, so I just figured that I'm probably winning here, and I don't need to be too fanciful. So this is what I went for.
But rook e5.
But rook e5. If this also wins, it's kind of regrettable I didn't play it, because it's a move you kind of want to make on aesthetic grounds. But all in all, obviously, like f7, f5 is just completely uncalled for in this position. You don't need to ruin your position to such an extent.
Yeah, and we've been followed, and I'm informed that in the final position that you were showing all those brilliant lines, after queen b7, knight a7 wins the fastest way. That's what the compy says. I mean, after queen b7, not queen b6.
Why?
Queen on b7, yeah.
Knight a7 wins.
Knight a7 wins on a spot. That's what.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, I actually considered something like that, but it's not that easy to be entirely sure of your conclusions in a position like this, because it's a messy position. But I think my play once my opponent played f5 has been good, but it probably is advisable to know some openings. Once again, I have to remind myself that this idea is probably not entirely wrong.
So,
and once again, I will do nothing about it, but just sort of a brief reminder to myself that it might make some sense to know some openings.
Right, and the game yesterday, it's not like we are able to show it on the screen, but what was happening yesterday?
I was okay for like 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and a half, and then I just died. And at some point I caught myself, I thought, okay, I thought for 15 minutes about something, and I can't recall a single variation I calculated, and I still don't understand what the conclusion was. And I thought, yeah, let's just make some moves. And the moves I eventually made were, frankly, not first class, because I think you know, you don't win the position I had every time, but you at least make it to move 40 with your extra pawn. You know, like
So
I had
like,
an extra pawn starting from move 17,
which is called torturing your opponent for quite a bit, right? I mean,
well, no, but like
then,
at a certain point, I'm pretty sure it was closer to a winning position than it was to a drawn position. But even if you miss that and you get this extra a pawn I got in the opposite color bishop endgame, by move 38 I had no extra pawn anymore.
oh, it was gone.
Yeah, I just gave it up for some reason and had to offer a draw. And yeah, this was unnecessary. Anyway, moving swiftly on. What's happening today?
What's happening today? Not many surprises just yet.
Yeah, the game you were discussing actually is
Wojtaszek's game. Yeah, I thought
probably
you
the
might
most...
have something to say about it.
I don't have any conclusions. I was just curious about the choice to go for this line in a must-draw game.
For white?
Yeah, it seemed to me like an interesting option in a game where you need to make a draw with white. I'm scrolling and scrolling and still getting nowhere.
That's too far.
Is it?
You've scrolled too far. Yeah, it's like board 16 or something.
Okay. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, so we did get here because we were discussing this. I think I refuted my knight c7 idea though, because I think knight c7 runs into bishop d4 and that solves all of black's problems. Because after knight e8 we can go king f8, and importantly after bishop queen takes c8 there is bishop e3 check, and then queen
bishop
takes
e3
b4
check is somewhat annoying.
Yeah, and that means that knight c7 doesn't win. And if knight c7 doesn't win, if black makes a move here, I mean you can go knight c6, but it feels
knight c6 makes
sense. Slow. It feels slow. But although I mean it's games is still very much in progress, I guess. Yeah, I guess it depends on whether I can do something like this, and if I lose after bishop takes d5.
Well,
because I think I need to trade off some of the attackers to feel safer here. And
what's wrong with knight g6? Because I attacked the queen as well. I was looking for some decisive, you know, discovery check. In fact, any knight move wins because you win the queen.
I had a bit of a blackout.
Yeah, it's like knight g4 wins, knight d7 wins.
So is he intending to go bishop b8 here?
Yeah, that's what I thought. But then again, there might be problems. I mean, you do get the feeling that this is not the position you love for black. Well, there was knight f4 possibly, no?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Maybe this is the point. Like you go
because
knight
you create this threat. Although, let's say
knight takes and bishop takes. Yeah. No, you could take with the.
I could also take with the knight. Yeah, but I quite like preserving both of these horses. I like these horses. They are very
so the game is on, clearly.
The game is still very much on, yeah, and bishop b8, like the move exists, but it's not a move you very much like making. In particular, like even this makes sense now,
takes on.
Yeah, because what is this pair of pieces doing? I mean, you can
wait,
play
black has to win though, yeah? I mean, because...
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep forgetting who is in the must-win in this game, because that kind of hints that someone does something wrong. I mean, there must be one guy who is trying to make a draw, and none of them does in this situation.
Seemingly not, yeah. But yeah, very, very exciting game, and once again, a very interesting choice from the young Norwegian to go for this line. But I guess he found some forced draws after what machine suggests are the best moves after 95. I guess this is the explanation that
because the position after 95 is not new.
No,
right?
It's
that's been
this like, is very much theory these days. Not theory, I know, but definitely theory. And knight 6 has been played, and bishop b8 has been played. So this actually is what Radek is aiming for. Yeah, and your point is actually very valid about white only needing a draw, because I don't think the attack is so strong, but let's say we play something like bishop g4 here. And, you know, knowing that perpetuals are fine for you, is just such a huge deal here for white.
Absolutely, yeah. So you go bishop g4, you go bishop e6.
Yeah, let's say knight g3, cd, queen g3.
Takes.
Yeah, we just play bishop e6 and we say, yes, of course, I will not be able to avoid the perpetual, but I don't really need to avoid the perpetual. Do your worst, you know. And yeah, this kind of leeway is just so important. Although here, bishop f4 check might be an issue. Knight e5 played already in the meantime.
Oh wait, what's the issue with the check? But just go to c2 and then b3.
Then b3. Yeah, I think I did it the wrong way. I should start with bishop e1. Sorry, queen e1 and then queen e2. And
c2 and then I will...
I think you have to go back to c1 and now I play bishop f4 check. And after knight takes f4, somewhat surprisingly, I don't see the immediate perpetual after fe. But it probably is there. I think even something like this might be a draw. King queen e6, queen f5, king e6, queen f5.
Queen f5 and then just win the rook.
Actually, we win the rook.
Just win the rook. Win c5 and yeah. Or you actually don't win the rook. After king e6, you go back to f5 because you want to take the rook with the check.
So what happens after king e7?
It's a check.
Yeah, but here I think I might...
From h7?
I think we might be able to force you to take, but I don't think white loses this position, honestly. Queen f1, king g2, queen g2, king c3, and I think I will always have enough checks once you start pushing the f-pawn. So yeah, curious position, but my guess is Johann Sebastian still has it reasonably under control.
Well, he's on 2 minutes though.
Yeah, that is.
But he went. Yeah, he went for the whole line. It seems.
Yeah, this position is on the board. What else do we have apart from bishop g4? We can make a waiting move of some sort, right? We can just play, let's say, king b1 here to sidestep all of this stuff.
Yeah, it's not clear how black is planning.
I guess I thought rook f7,
rook f8.
But now I want to go knight e3. This would have been my
check on b4. That would be
what? Check.
Check. Queen b4. Check.
Yeah.
Take a pawn with a check.
Sorry. Yeah, blundering somebody else's material. Not great. Okay, let's continue making strengthening moves.
a3.
Because once again, this is the point. Rook f8, I just go queen b7 check, and I say, please unpin yourself, sir.
Yeah, even though here after king h8, it's not like black is seriously playing for a win yet, but the game goes on.
No, the game definitely goes on, but I mean, the king now will be quite safe on a2, so I would, for instance, very seriously consider playing bishop g4 and trying to put it on
f5.
Trying to put it on f5. I mean, honestly, I'm not sure who is better. And Johann Sebastian played bishop f2, which is a move we completely missed, and it might be extremely strong, actually. Because it lands on c5.
To c5, the king's gonna be safe.
No, but also the bishop on b8. Like, how do you not lose the bishop on b8?
You mean rook f7, bishop c5, and just takes on b8?
Yeah, I think this is just lost for black. Well, you can play rook f8. No, rook f8, queen b7 check.
And I've got a confirmation from Ilya, you know, whom we are talking about, Korodetsky, who says bishop f2 and Wojtaszek has to back. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
and bishop f2 is on the board, so well played, really.
Yeah, this is quite quite well played in general. I mean, the match in general. Although you have to say that Radek's loss yesterday was just so self-inflicted. He had a very nice risk-free position, and then he just decided to play f5, f takes g6 for no reason whatsoever, and he never recovered. It's just. I'm not sure what happened to him there, because I think on any kind of a normal day he would know that this is not how you treat this structure.
Yeah, well, we had a discussion, the funny discussion yesterday. What was the kind of the surprise of the day? And then some people were saying like Naka didn't win with white, this, that, or say Wojtaszek losing to Christiansen. And I said Wojtaszek losing with white, period. Yeah, it is already quite a big surprise.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. Yeah. And also the nature of how he lost yesterday was just so unlike him, because he had things sort of well in control, and then he just decided to do this really strange thing.
All right, so
what else do we have?
I don't know how long I'm entitled to keep you here, and of course
let's just briefly have a look. Maybe we spot something that we need to cover. This game actually is a lot.
The game that has... I know, it's still going.
It's still going, but I mean, the position is sort of sharper than it used to be, but I don't think Wesley is too much worried about it, right? I think he's just fine.
Looks more than fine.
Well, you have to applaud the white player's approach. He did not just shuffle pieces forever in a completely safe position. He's actually trying actively to disbalance it, but yeah, should be fine for Wesley, and Wesley also is way ahead on the clock, which might prove very relevant at some point.
Yeah, I was looking, I mean, why I'm pausing here, I was looking for the way to actually trap this queen on g5, which currently has only one square on c5. But
yeah, but it's difficult, yeah.
It doesn't really...
I don't think the way exists yet, but... Yeah. Lev, I think, will eventually...
will win, yeah?
Yeah. It will still require some work now that... I mean, the a4 pawn hasn't fallen, but the difference in king safety will just... you know, eventually will be completely decisive.
And it's three
yeah,
pawns,
it's three,
right?
it's
at some point, even some weird endgames where black improves a bit, and then...
But like, if you take the queens off immediately here, I'm not sure if it's...
Who benefits from this?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's entirely winning for black, although of course black will be sort of close to winning. Black always is close to winning here, but I don't know if it's winning as such. But black is obviously under no obligation to do it straight away.
Yes, Ronan is very likely to win.
Yeah. Andreikin is somewhat better against Ilyushonak. But Ilyushonak continues to be this... you know, for 25-40, I think he might be the most dangerous 25-40 in this field. And he also, I think, is very confident playing against strong players and has been known to knock rating favorites out of knockout events.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's the kind of his the history of his life, because I remember he was considered to be like a young talent, and I think then disappears from the scene at all.
He did something else for a while, I think, and then decided to return to chess, and this explains, I think, his rating to a large degree. Although I think in this position he might be in quite some trouble, because I spotted the move h5 thing, just now. Yeah, I think he might not be enjoying today as much as he would otherwise would.
Yeah, h5 is quite annoying.
Yeah.
There are requests to show Andreikin.
Yeah, Andreikin, I just got to that game, but there's really nothing to show. The big point here is that Andreikin will actually have to play a tiebreak tomorrow.
And he cannot complain much about this, because he was
probably close to loss yesterday.
Close to loss, yeah.
Probably close to loss. And just briefly to return to the Wojtaszek game, Johann Sebastian can now just force a draw by playing queen c8, queen b7 forever, or he can at some point play an endgame with an extra pawn, and probably no risk, but yeah, I don't think he will. I think he will just take this draw on the spot.
That's interesting, I mean...
No, but that endgame is not so winning. Like, if he still had bishops against bishop and knight, of course you continue, but you also have to give up, let's say, after queen c8, rook f8, which is on the board now, you have to take on f8, and black, let's say, takes with the king, and takes with the bishop, and you know, you can dream of one day creating a passer on the h file. Of course, you play king b2, you play king b3, you play a4. Black is some way away from any counterplay on the king side. But honestly, you know, knocking Wojtaszek out of the World Cup and just having
a rest day,
and not spending 2 hours here trying to convert, I think is also a very sensible decision. So I think both are fine, and we'll see what Johann Sebastian chooses.
Twitch chat discusses, well, is English is your native language something? No, not really.
Well, no.
Say, someone says Peter is fluent in Russian, English, cricket, Hearthstone, and something else.
I think that's about it these days. So what else what else got to tie breaks? The Safferly-Shanklin match got to tie breaks. What's happening in Matlakov against Abdusatorov?
Was a draw? Game 1?
No, game 1 was a draw, and game 2 is a position where I guess you pick white. But it's very, very nominal, right? Because yes, the knight will get to d5, but...
Well, yeah, it's like you get the knight to d5, you make black take it, you take with this... I'm not even sure what you take it with.
What do you even take it with? Yeah, and I think it's not a lot. It ended up being some kind of a... It's very close to some kind of a Sveshnikov despite starting as a Najdorf. Like the c4 Sveshnikov Tsar.
Do you love cricket, Peter? That's
Yes.
what chat wants to know.
Yeah. What else do we have?
What else do we have? Let me see. There were some...
If there are some requests, I wonder.
Requests? Not really. Well, Nihal Sarin against Corey. That's a request people always have. Like,
Yeah, I really liked what he did yesterday, Nihal.
Yesterday was an impressive game.
Yeah, I thought that was a very, very impressive game by the young Taik. Yeah, and this is a curious position to have by move 19, right? Both of them down to less than 10 minutes, and one pawn traded by move 19. So this is going to be a bit of a scramble. And also the question is, how do we meet rook b2? But maybe we can just go knight g7. I was looking for some tactical solutions here, but...
Like knight e4?
Knight e4 actually exists. I was also looking at, let's say, cd4, ed4, and then some jumps. Knight f4, bishop f4, I don't know. Bishop f4, for instance. Might not be so stupid. Creating ideas of bishop f3 and rook d4.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, there is...
Yeah, it could be.
There is a move like bishop e3 here, which I don't know how to evaluate properly.
It's like, speaking of yesterday's game, which you probably have checked. It's like, I've seen many games where white wins 4-4 because he has a light square bishop, which is better than the knight. But like when black still has the pawn on d6 and white is better, that was impressive.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, this probably is the game. Of the things, I think I scrolled through almost the entire round now, and from what I've seen, this probably is the game to watch, because this is going to be a huge time trouble. Yeah. And also it's Nihal Sarin, so that just has to be sort of exciting by definition. So
that's what we'll be doing.
Peter's commentating as well as playing.
Yeah, Peter.
Well,
yes, Peter does commentary occasionally. Do you want to know whom you're playing in round 2?
I do know who I'm playing in round 2.
You do know.
Yeah.
That's the only pair of round 2 that we know.
Yeah, so and I gave this speech in St. Louis when they asked me at the sort of the closing press conference about my bracket, and I said, you know, I have such sort of long-standing memories of playing Ruslan in World Cups, but not playing Ruslan, and it's not a huge surprise, to be honest, because Isipenko is just a very, very strong young player, but I thought it's very possible that he wins, but that he wins with such ease is still quite surprising to me. He won very, very comfortably with black yesterday, and I don't know if he decided to win today or if he was happy with the draw.
I don't know the result. I just know that Yesipenko is true, and he's your opponent for it.
Yeah, but it would not have been easy against Ruslan, and it definitely will not be easy against Andrei. I rate Andrei very highly. I played him recently in this online 960 event. And those were, I mean, this is a very, very different thing, obviously, but those were very hard-fought, very difficult games for me, and I expect the same will be true here. So yeah, I think I'll let Alex assume his proper place. But yeah, let's hope we run into each other again.
Yeah,
maybe here.
Any time, Peter. You see, well, we have your name on the screen, so we were prepared for you joining us. Thanks very much. That was Peter Svidler commentating on World Cup. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.